Hey all, there's another one of these little beginner flourishes here for you. This one will be for the ribbon spread, which is that right there. Always looks nice. It's not too hard though. For this, the first way I'll show you here, this is the simplest method, is to hold the cards like this in your hand, just right there in your across your palm. And what you do is you just put them down, and you have to apply a little pressure, not very much. It's fairly light. And as you drag your hand across, what you do is you have your fingers touching the table, like the ends of your fingers are touching the table. And as you come across, you just let your fingers slowly straighten. Just as the deck gets shorter, your fingers go up at the same speed. And like I said, you just have to play with it a little bit to get an idea of how much pressure and how quickly to move your fingers. It's not too hard. You'll need a little practice with it. And if you push too hard, you have that happens. Or if you push too light, obviously you're gonna, you'll get uneven, messy spreads. So it's not too difficult. You just need to practice it a little bit to get the feel for it. That's the kind of the easiest way to do it. It's a little easier that way than this is how I kind of taught myself to do it years ago. I saw someone else fan the cards, and I just tried to figure out how they did it. Is hold the cards like this, just two fingers into your palm, and these are on either side. And when I go across, it's my index finger is the guide. So it's there, and as I come across, it slowly raises up. It's harder to do slow, which that's a good point too. When you're practicing this, it's a decent speed. If you try to go really slow, you're gonna have a hard time getting a really good spread. That came out decent, but trust me, if you're new to it, going a little faster. Don't try to go super fast. It gives you uneven spreads, but just a nice a good pace, not too fast, not too slow. Like I've been saying, just play with it a little bit until you get the feel for it. It's just exactly how you need to do it. Now, also, don't overthink it. That's don't be okay. I gotta get my finger just right, and it comes up. Don't think about it too much. Just kind of do it. The term is it's a knack. It's a little difficult for me to explain just exactly what you have to do. You just kind of have to play with it a little bit until you get the feel for how it's supposed to work. And when you go to practice this, this is important if you're trying to teach yourself this. Make sure you have a good surface. Alright, this is a magician's close-up mat. It has a perfect surface for doing spreads. You don't need one of these unless you're going to be real serious about doing magic to do them. But if you have like a felt card table, a poker table, something like that, or you can even just on the carpet, works pretty good as long as you don't have like real long shag carpet or something. Just so you have kind of a felt-like surface to do it on. Because I'll take this off there. If you try to do it on a hard, smooth surface like this, you're going to have a real hard time with it. Once you get pretty good at the spread, you can do it on a hard surface. But you see how it came out even for me. I'm pretty good at it, but it's hard to get a really good spread on a hard, smooth surface. And you won't be able to do the turnover at all on a hard, smooth surface because it'll start a little bit, but it's just too slick. The cards don't behave. And for that turnover, also I'll show you that real quick. Once you give a good spread, the turnover, you just grab the end and just flip it over. There's really nothing to it. You just have to have a good even spread before you can pull it off. If you push too light, sometimes it won't make it. So that's what happens if you don't have a good spread. But get a little pop, and it'll go all the way. Or if you want, you can just keep your finger on it all the way across. And one other thing you can do with it too is take the last card off the end here and just use it to flip them up, and then turn it sideways on the top there, and you can run it back and forth like this. if that's what you want to do with it. Now, if you keep doing it over and over again, eventually the cards kind of slide a little bit and kind of work out. Eventually, it'll falter when you try to turn it over. But the spread's the hard part. The turnover is pretty much automatic once you can get a good spread. So that's the ribbon spread with turnover. So practice that, and it's a nice little way you can display the cards.